Is it strange I'm actually liking this hair look? There is a reason for it. Hi guys, and welcome to Quirky Gems. I'm Gem. So, I got requested this on my Instagram, don't know where I was going with that, my Instagram, to do a hair tutorial on cutting your own hair. So everyone's saying about lockdown and that they would normally book up their hair appointment maybe every 12 weeks, but you can't. And you can't have someone over to cut your hair because of the lockdown and the, COVID-19. So I would figure that I would show you a tutorial of how I cut my hair, but there is a catch. I won't be cutting my hair in this tutorial. I'll be showing and telling you how to do it. Simply because I don't need to trim my hair up yet. I'm happy with the length and it's okay. It's in good nick, really. I'm going to be telling you what you need, and I'm going to be walking you through how to trim your hair. We will be covering your fringe, and we'll be covering taking some length off of the sides. Now, it all depends on what your length of hair is. As you can see, I have a bob. The reason why I cut my own hair is because for years I went to the same salon. But about 2 years ago, they closed down. And much like everybody that would be in this position, you're thinking, well, who am I going to have to cut my hair? This is just not ideal. I shopped around for people. Everyone did different prices. And I thought, well, hold on a second. Right, I know my hair. I know the texture. I know the length I want. I'm the one that styles it. I'm the one that washes it. Let's give this a go. So much like you, probably, I've looked on YouTube videos and figured out how to cut hair. My hair has grown out from a pixie hairstyle, and I've managed to shape it into a bob and trim it up when it needs trimming. This YouTube video, I'm going to be telling you the stuff you need. Whether or not you want to go back to your hairdresser afterwards is up to your, completely at your discretion. But I would say you're going to need a bath towel. You are going to need some decent scissors. Now, these are actually hair cutting scissors that I got from eBay for a couple of quid. They come in a sleeve, and these are really great because they are sharp enough and you get a really great finish. And also, you're going to need a comb. This is a hair styling comb. I don't really use combs apart from when I'm cutting my hair. But you're going to need a comb. You're going to need your favourite styling brush. You're going to need some hair clips. I haven't got any more around me, only brought 3 up to my room. I know I was well prepared. But if you so wish, you can also use these kind. You can use these kind of hair clips as well. They're just like those. Whatever works best for your hair. For me, I'm a migraine sufferer and I also have fibromyalgia, so my skin's sensitive, so these hair clips here work a treat. And you will also need a mug or a cup of water. So the first thing you do, depending on the length of hair, so for me, as you can see, my hair is a bob, okay, and I have quite a heavy fringe. And if I wanted to trim my hair, I'm just going to show you what I would do. So, I leave the fringe until last, but what I make sure to do is I pin up the top layers of my hair. There's a little bit more on each, but it doesn't matter because you're just concentrating on the bottom layer, then you're going to bring it down as you do it. So, getting your comb, I use this with water because, as you can see, I've actually just washed my hair, but it's starting to air dry, and you can see it's starting to go lighter where the air's hitting it and it's drying. You're going to need this comb to put in water to make sure that it's wet enough so that you can actually style it and to cut it, and to make sure that you get enough hair into your comb, because this is what I really rely on. I don't really rely on my fingers because this is straight. It's all about angles and it's dead straight. So this, I know that I can rely on. This style was actually cut using this, these and water. Let's begin. So what we're going to do is, as I said, I'm not going to cut my hair, but I'm going to walk you through how to do it. So the first thing you do is make sure your hair is clean. There is nothing worse than going through dirty hair, and as it's done, as you've done the work, as it's been cut, it feels better when it's cleaner and it looks better. First thing you need to do with a bath towel, because they're slightly bigger in length, put that over your legs. Put that over your legs or around the back of you, depending on the flooring that you're sat on. Now I'm sat on carpet. This is the very room that I cut my hair in. If you're on carpet, it can be a royal nightmare to try and get hair out of the carpet. So if you put a bath towel on, all you have to do is just gather it up, take it outside, shake it off, or shake it off next to a bin. Doesn't matter what kind of temperature the water is. I go for cold. It's just so that your comb, like with me, as you can see, my hair is quite thick and it's got a kink. It's just so that the comb can go through your hair. Okay. With scissors, make sure you have a sharp pair of scissors. There's nothing worse than having to literally sit there and really go for it. If the sharper your scissors are, the more the work that they do for you. And don't forget, you're going to need a brush to make sure that it's still kind of, you know, styled the same way and the way that you like it. So, what I would do, you can use the bottom of this or you can just use the top of it. Section off. So my hair would normally be down, section off, and it's all about angles throughout your head. Section off the top layer of your hair and put it up above your head. Doesn't matter how messy this bit gets, it's just to get it out of the way, okay? You can use these kind of clips, you can just clip a bit up, you know, like that. It doesn't matter what happens, just make sure that it's up. And then what you do, you get your comb, make sure that it's a little bit damp, put it in your water, bring it down. This is the bottom layer of your hair. If you want a little bit more up, you can. So mine looks like it could go a little tiny bit more up. There's a little bit there that I'm not happy with. So, just going to use this clip. Put it up. So a lot happening at the top, but I'm liking it. Okay, this would be the bottom layer of your hair. So if you were to cut a bob, depending on how long it is, or maybe you're growing it out of a pixie, it's all about keeping the length and it's all about the lines on your face. Now mine is just past my my chin, so it's kind of great, about 2 inches away from my shoulders. What you would do, comb it down using your comb, comb it down to where you'd be happy with the length to fall. So for me, if I were to trim my hair right now, I would have the smallest amount off just to make sure that all the dead ends are gone. Using your scissors, if you're using hair styling scissors, this bit here is where you place your middle finger on, and it's great because it works on either left hand or right. I'm right-handed. What I would then do is just make sure that it goes right below this line and trim that. So mine is a blunt bob, and the reason why is because I trim it this way. I don't trim it up. If you do it up, that gives it more styling and more texture. It makes it more layery, but I just do it this way. So it actually looks like I'm cutting hair there. So what I would do is I would just cut that bit. Make sure your head is straight as you do it, and make sure the comb is at the angle you want. So this would be like that, just straight. And you can tell because it's all about lines. Can you see that? That is straight as a ruler. You just trim that. Once you're done, take it away. The hair will fall. Don't worry, this is all about concentration. You have this. You've got this. So, comb it back down. Now, the damper it is, the more like mine has the worst kink imaginable. But, once it's down, you can use your brush to brush it, or you can use your comb, and make sure you're happy with this length. If you're fine with this length, you can always change your mind later. Once you're happy with it, take the next bit of hair along. You can tell because it's longer than the one you just cut. Take your next bit of hair along, make sure that is straight, and you can tell by how it feels upon your neck. Now, as you can tell, that right there, keeping your head straight, because you don't want to do that and then it's kind of cut square. Keeping your head straight, take your scissors and you cut that bit, making sure that it lines up. Once you've done that, make sure you line it up throughout your head. Now at the back, you can have someone to do this for you, or you can line it up using what it feels like. So, you have it cut, right? Where this is, now I would have taken around about 5mm off. Bring it down, so you're combing it down. Line it up, so you can see the end of the comb. You can have a mirror behind you if this works as well. Line it up, or you can ask someone if this is all lined. And then, using the back, if you can hear this, you know you're hitting it as you cut. Make sure you keep the line straight. The line is going to be what's doing. Whatever happens underneath the line of the comb is fine, because that's the hair that's going to be cut. So, what's going to be happening is, where the comb is, you're going to be trimming everything below this line. okay? Making sure the comb is always straight as you go along. So imagine you've just done the back, okay? That's straight. You can feel it against your neck. That's straight. If you have someone behind you, that's great. If not, you can use a mirror. Don't freak out if you don't. Go by the feeling. This is how I cut my hair, basically. I just felt it along. And you can tell, because if your hair is like mine, when it's behaving itself, you can tell because it will start to go straight and it will start to go shorter than the rest. And you can tell by how much you've taken off by your other side that you haven't cut yet. Now, you cut along here using the same line as your comb. Now if you want, you can position a mirror at the back of you. The only difference is though you're having to keep on looking over in this direction to see where your hair's going. If you've got another adult or someone you trust in the house, that would work as well. So you'd bring it round like this, you'd bring it down so the comb would be level, using your scissors, however long you want it, using your scissors. You make sure to cut along that, then using your scissors again once you're happy, you're using the same line and doing it. Then you just cut the bottom layer of your bob. So, we're going to have to move because my legs are killing me. Happens in every video, you'd think I'd have learnt by now. So if you're happy with this length, that's great. If not, using the same thing, you can bring it down and you can trim it up a bit. I would suggest taking the smallest amount off, because once you then feel comfortable, you can then go around and do it again. Then what you do is you take the next layer off, bring that down, make sure it's a thin piece of hair or that it's easy to control. Now this will be your guide, okay, the bit you just cut. Bring that down, you can then see what you just cut, okay, and then making sure that it's damp enough that you can control it. Level it up with the rest of the hair that's shorter. You take your scissors and you trim. And then this is the start of the second lot. So you're actually bringing this bit down. So over this side, be exactly the same thing. I actually haven't put the top of my hair up. I mean the bottom, get it right, Jem, the back of my hair up. But you can do if you want, because you're not seeing the back. I'm just showing you what you do with the front and the sides. But with cutting your hair at the back, if you so wish, for mine, it's thinner, so I don't actually have to put it back, you know, put it up, so. Right. This is the next layer, and again, you're just lining it up with the rest. As you can tell, if you're cutting your hair, you can see this. You just layer it, measure it up with the bottom layer, you take your scissors and you snip it. Now, that was the second layer. You do that all around your head. And then you keep bringing it down, measuring and cutting it, okay? If you want it layered, or if you want it, mine is literally a blunt cut. Because my hair has a kink to it anyway, I didn't want to add to that kink. And so that is the way of doing a blunt bob. If you want to do one that has layers, what you would do, you get the comb, you get your scissors and you cut that way. So you cut at an angle. So it's kind of like you're angling it towards the left of the ceiling. I'm only doing that because I'm right-handed. So you do it like that. You trim so it's not a straight line. So you do it like that. If you wanted a little bit more texture to your hair, maybe if your hair is thinner, that would be a great look for you, because you're literally texturing it up and you're giving it a little bit more body. So now that you've completed your haircut, if you're giving yourself a bob, that would be how you're doing it. Let's talk the fringe. So for me, with my fringe, let's put these bits back. What I would do, make sure that the rest of your hair is back. It's out of the way, okay? And make sure to find your fringe. Now, everyone can do this, okay? So just put that up there. As you can tell, this bit here, I have like a line. So I have here, all the way around. That's my fringe line. Okay, anything past here would be on that, would be your hair. That should be up. So depending on what you want to do with your fringe, if I were to trim it, I'm actually growing my side bits out and having this bit of my fringe shorter. I think they call it a curtain fringe. So, making sure that your comb is damp, you put it in your mug, and what you would do is you bring it down to what would feel comfortable for you. Now remember, the wetter that the hair is, when it dries, it actually kind of loses a bit of weight, so it kind of goes above. And for me, my guide is my eyebrows. So what I would do, bring it down. So for me, I like to have my fringe below my eyebrows. So if I would do that, it's another blunt. Actually no, it's quite a layered one, this one. So what you would do to give it a little bit of body, get your scissors, again, resting your middle finger on it, and what you would do is you trim up at an angle. This is how you do a curtain fringe. To do the sides, what I do, I get the sides, because I want them longer, I get my comb at an angle, making sure that it's wet to kind of control the hair. And then what you do is you, with the hair you've got there, you do it at an angle, going down. So that's a curtain fringe. If you just wanted like a normal blunt cut, all you do, you get your fringe, bring it down to wherever you want, get your scissors, and you cut along that. Being sure that when you're happy with it, take your comb down, like that. Once you're happy, you could always bring your hair or a bit of your hair forward to see how it merges with the rest of your hair. And that is how I cut my hair. So that is how I'm going to continue to cut my hair. As it gets longer, I'll find new ways probably of trimming it and stuff, you know. But for me, that is what feels comfortable for my hair to do. And when you take it back down, oh, be sure, that went well. Okay, be sure to style it how you would style it. So this is just literally how I'd style it. I like to have my hair on the side, but sometimes I style it in the middle. When I'm cutting my hair, I style it in the middle, because for me, it just makes more sense. It's a personal preference. And then, what you can do, bring it all forward, and you want to see that it all lines up. So for me, I have a curtain fringe. Where you trimmed your fringe up at an angle, you can see that there's a little bit of a layering effect. It looks a bit thinner. So you can actually see that. Can you see that? It's actually a little bit thinner. It looks more layered, it looks more like you can do more with it. If you just done a blunt cut, it would have been more heavier. So you bring it down, and you make sure that it's all lined up. Now these are lines on the face I was talking about. Okay, so these match my eyebrows. And then what I would do is, my eyes, these are the side bits that I'm hoping to grow down. Depending on how I'm feeling when I actually go to trim this, maybe in a few weeks time, depends on how I feel, I'd line this up. Got a bit of hair here that wants to have fun. So I'd line this up. It goes towards my eyes, because I know what's happening here. Will you behave yourself? Oh my god. Drama? Okay, so it lines up with my eyes. Then the rest of it lines up. Making sure your head's straight, bring it down. It's all about matching it up lengthwise. So that lines up with my chin. If you have it lined up, you've just created a bob. It's all about lines on your face, making sure. This is exactly what a hairdresser does. Just bring it down. If your hair is slightly longer, bring it down, maybe it's to the chest bone, bring it down and make sure it's all lined up. If you want to, bring your comb it down and trim below that line. So you're trimming below, exactly how we did with short hair. So imagine this is longer, you bring it down, you trim below it. Depending on if you want a little bit of layering, if you want a bit of layering, depends on how it falls. If you want a bit of layering, you trim to the left of the ceiling. Wherever you're sat is to the left of you. Or if you're right-handed, I guess it would be to the right. But that's generally how I do it. And as I said, this bob was cut a few months ago. All I do really now is just trim it up. It's got into the style that I want it, and you know, I colour it. Well, I'm not colouring it anymore because I've gone darker and I'm happy with the hair colour. And so that is how you give yourself a bob. Now, as I said, this all depends on the hairstyle that you have. If you have shorter hair, you're going to need tutorials for Pixie. That's all about layering. So that's all about kind of bringing it out at angles. And believe it or not, for me, when I used to have a Pixie haircut, I actually used to go to my hairdressers and say if I was at college at the time, I couldn't get an appointment to go and see my hairdresser. So what I would do, using the bathroom mirror and using the basin and a comb or a brush, I would just basically go over where the actual styles have fallen. So say you've got a bit of a pixie, so it looks a bit kind of like, there is no way I can turn this into a pixie right now, is there? So you've got like longer bits and you've got like shorter bits. Mine was above my ear. So basically it's all about angles and layering. But what I would suggest is that where your hair falls naturally is usually the kind of angles and the cuts that you want. If you're not completely happy with cutting your own hair, don't do it. You can last out. It's only going to be a couple of weeks and then lockdown will be lifted. If you trust your other half, or maybe your mum, or maybe you have someone in the family that you trust, if you work together, you can do it. But only do this if you're completely confident. I cannot be held liable for any mistakes that anyone might make. I'm just showing you how I do my hair. This is something that I have found that works easy, and it saved me a ton of money, if I'm being honest. But my hairstyle, to be honest, all I did basically was let my pixie grow out. I made sure that my sideburn bits, because I am a man, I made sure that my sideburn bits were just below my ear, and then I realised, okay, so if I let them grow out, then I have, lines to play with. I have more length. And when I trimmed my pixie, all I did was I made sure that the back of my hair, where it had lines, I made sure that it was past. See, you can see that. Made sure it was past this bit. So you just keep growing it down. But for this, for a bob, this is how you would do your own hair if you didn't want to go to a hair salon. If you want to give yourself a bob, easiest way of doing it. But I hope that this hair tutorial helped you out. As I said, I feel very confident in doing it. It costs me around about, say, it would cost you to get like hair clips and things. You might have some already lying around the house. To get a decent comb, decent pair of scissors, cost me a couple of quid. A couple of quid on eBay. You can get the scissors anywhere, Amazon, anywhere you want. These are actually real hair cutting scissors though. Make sure you get the ones with the blade and not the hair thinning scissors. I know a lot of people go wrong with that. The hair thinning scissors, believe it or not, this bit is thicker. It's formed like, it's kind of, this bit is more rounded because when you cut through it, it's actually taking the hair out and it's texturing it. What you need is hair cutting scissors. And with these, as you can tell, they're designed, they go down, so that the blade does all the work for you. So I hope that you've had fun watching my tutorial. I hope that you can understand my instructions, and if you do, please do give me a thumbs up. If you try this at home, let me know how you get on. As I said though, this is completely up to you whether or not you want to do it. I just had a request to do a hair tutorial, and I figured that I would do one about how I do my own hair. And for me, my hair has a kink to it. I know how it works, I know how it operates, I'm the one that styles it, and so for me this works. And I hope that if you're feeling brave, or if I've inspired you to take the plunge and get the step, then I hope this inspired you as well. Thank you so much for watching, and please do take a look at my other videos if you haven't yet. There's some makeup tutorials there, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks as ever for watching. Take it easy and bye.